Flying changes variations. Good afternoon, coaches. Today I wanted to talk through two really easy ways to adjust a game of flying changes to add a little bit of variability to challenge your players, to have a little bit of repetition without repetition. At Sporting Arkansas in the Academy, flying changes is a very common warm-up activity that we use as players come and arrive. It's a great way to get some attack defense transitions immediately going. And typically with flying changes, you have your first two players on either side come on, two with a ball, and we play, and as soon as one team gets a shot, it goes in or crosses the end line. The team that was defending, those players rotate off. The two that shot stay on to defend, and the next two blue immediately transition on to attack. And so we continue to play back and forth, and it gets a really good vibe going to be in practice. Well, you might notice a couple things. First, when you have a team that transitions on and they might try to shoot immediately, not so that they're making a legitimate attempt to score, but simply so that they can get the ball across the end line to knock the two out. One easy way to avoid that or to mitigate that is to have a rule that players must shoot in the attacking half. So if you put a cone line out on that halfway line and say that players, in order for a goal to score, in order for it to count, you cannot shoot from your defensive half, that's going to encourage the players to have to take on the defenders that are in the game, so that when they actually do cross the end line, it is a more legitimate attempt, so that this team does get the opportunity, the team in yellow does get the opportunity to try to defend, and so the team in blue can't just knock them out. So it really encourages that risk-taking, that 1v1, 2v2 opportunity. Second easy way to add some variability, typically with flying changes, we have our two lines situated on either side of the goal. Really easy ways to vary starting positions, whether that's pulling one line out to the side and having one line next to the goal and one line out to the side, or even having both lines starting in the corners. That's going to provide a slightly different look at a similar problem. We're going to have the same rules, ball has to cross the end line before the next two transition on, but when these two transition on, the ball is shot, the next two players that do come on are going to have such a varied starting point, it's going to force the two players in yellow, the defenders, to have to defend a little bit differently rather than having the attackers starting together in the middle. It's going to encourage them to have to, how am I going to pressure, who's going to pressure, and how is that second defender going to cover? Similar look at a different problem, but continues those good habits that you can get from flying changes as a warm-up activity. Must score in the attacking half and vary starting positions. Cheers.